How many hours have you spent sitting in urgent care waiting rooms or looking for a doctor appointment and getting it'll be 3 to 4 months? Hey guys, I'm Dr. Liz Moyer, and I'm here to say that time is definitely your most valuable asset. So whether you're juggling work or just trying to survive life as a parent, we're all looking for hacks that can save us time. Enter Doctor On Demand. I'll be giving a quick review over this application. And make sure you stay till the end because I'll go over for those that use TRICARE, whether you're active duty, reserve, or dependent. All right, I did a quick search, typed in Doctor On Demand, and got straight to the website. I do want to note that you can access this on your phone or you can do it on your computer, whichever one is more useful. Obviously, if you have a tablet, works as well too. Gives you a nice little overview. You can see with urgent care, this is what I will be going over mostly because we do have primary care physicians. It's just that sometimes they're really slammed. And it's just Murphy's Law. It's gonna be 10 p.m. and that's when your child lets you know that they've had a rash the whole day or we dropped something or whatever. This is especially great if you're on a weird time zone. We're in Hawaii and that 24/7 urgent care is fantastic. Cannot stand sometimes that we're up to 6 hours from East Coast. You can see also it adds opportunities for mental health, and then it has a comprehensive list of all of their telehealth services. You can log in for free and very simple process, just takes a couple of minutes. It gives a little bit of an overview, goes over some more of the specifics. Another thing too is sometimes we go through a gap where you're not on insurance, so have no fear. You'll see the instructions for with insurance, without insurance. You can type with insurance, then look for the plan. We'll go, what shall we pick? TRICARE West will give you the type of care. You create your account. You can also then link to the TRICARE West website to make sure that it is valid. As always, some great frequently asked questions that you can put in here. You can also use a good AI tool or Perplexity. Perplexity is probably one of my favorite search engine tools. I have a video on that, so please make sure to check out that in my library. And I've been playing around with Gamma. I also did a video on that and that'll be linked above, but just want to go through a couple more details to see when this is applicable and how you can use it. Funny story, I found Doctor On Demand through a Facebook page where people were sharing different stories and successes. And this is a anonymized example of how you can use it where, you realize that your son is not doing well, you open the app and then you can quickly book an appointment. As stated, you can see these are the everyday illnesses that it covers. So these are really those last minute ones. But if you are looking for chronic condition management, hypertension, diabetes, thyroid disorders, this might be a good option for you. Their mental health support is not same day. You can look for cancellations. There's some tips on that as well. But we really have to prioritize when we start to recognize our mind is not where we want it to be, something is off, instead of waiting until we get all the way to really in a bad place. The moment you start to notice or someone else mentions, once again, I'm not a doctor, but working with docs and psychs, it doesn't hurt to have that appointment. Brief overview of the prescription process. You obviously have to have your consultation. They can send it electronically and you get the pickup, and they can even do refills, which is pretty cool. I will caveat that you want to think through what is the pharmacy that makes the most sense for you. You might be in a different state. I've noticed a lot of times this happens where you're traveling, you're on vacation, you're on a trip, and now it's not that you don't have a great doctor. It's not that you can't get in on time. It's you're halfway around the country. There definitely are competitors to Doctor On Demand. I'll show you that in a little bit. But what we can think about is when I did a search, looked at urgent care, looked at ER costs, they're much higher than these applications. Here's the competitor competition. You've got Doctor On Demand, also saw Teladoc, Telemind. Love for you to put in the comments, is there another tool that you're using that you find more helpful? Additionally, if you find this useful, please make sure you subscribe. In terms of what to expect, if you're that kind of OCD person, you're going to do the registration, schedule your appointment, and then when you're talking with that physician, describe your symptoms. You can connect via video. So if you do have a rash, I got some awesome jellyfish stings out in Hawaii. So they're healing up pretty well, but I could have used that resource. And then, of course, you can get your care and follow up. There are some schools that are really big sticklers for the excusal notes. They do offer that, very helpful. And as I mentioned earlier, with those mental health appointments, you can see that they're a little bit longer out to schedule. Couple of tips for you to kind of think through. Sometimes we can't be picky with that provider and we look for the first available one. And then if you don't feel that they're a good match, you can always move and switch. That really goes for even the person that you meet for that urgent care. I did look at some reviews and there were a couple of individuals that weren't happy, but it wasn't that they weren't happy with the service or the program, it was just the doctor. So here's my best advice. Whenever you're going to go into an appointment with a healthcare provider, think of it like a partnership. And this is a back and forth conversation. You can ask questions, you can be curious, you can make sure to understand the differential diagnosis. You want to work together. If they're not listening, if you aren't feeling heard, then you can elevate that or ask to switch providers. It was a very big growth moment for me to realize that I could push back a little bit and ask questions, even if the doctor maybe responded in a weird way. Let's say I'm pregnant and they say, "Oh, this is great for your acne." All right, I then would say, "Remember, I'm pregnant. Is that okay?" If the doctor responds and says, "Yeah, duh, I know you're pregnant. It's fine." The worst thing that has occurred is we've just trust and verified. It's your body. It's the medication you're putting in your system. So be mindful of advocating for yourself. I will actually be having on a physician assistant who's a dear friend, Lindsay, to talk a little bit more about how you can advocate for yourself and feel more equipped when you're in those meetings and trying to just get a little healthier. Also, with anything, don't be discouraged if you can't find an appointment. Go and check for cancellations all the time, they'll pop. Speaking of cancellation policies, this really sold me because life does happen. Your child does have an injury, but then suddenly, oh, they're feeling better. And maybe they just wanted to get your attention. Now you can cancel the appointment and you don't have to pay your copay. And if something else happens, you've now got that system down. Their customer service has very high remarks, so make sure you do check your billing in case something occurs when you do that cancellation. Last thing to remember, we may be in a location where the internet is not very strong or there's a storm or a power outage, and they take that into consideration, which I really appreciate. All right, you made it to military tips. So whether you are active, reserve, a dependent, you're using some type of TRICARE, always save your visit summaries. You want to get those uploaded into your medical records. Very important that we keep all of our medical records together. I know that's a nightmare considering how often we move. There are no options for this for OCONUS members, so I am sorry, I am only talking to people that are in CONUS. I wonder if they'll change, but we'll see. I have read some individuals that when TRICARE, especially West or East, will change the contract, there's a glitch, or some of the doctors underneath it won't accept that. Be mindful of that, but you can usually work through it. Make sure you use the 11-digit benefit number. If you use the 10, it won't work. And yeah, let's not give people our social security number. I know, we give it out all the time anyway. It goes without saying, this has no DoD endorsement. It's just me personally looking and comparing and talking to friends and family who have been stuck in this situation and just hated having to wait around. Last thing to take into consideration if you are military is that, and let's say you're active duty, that copay should be covered. They will ask for you to have a credit card on file. If you run into an issue, just make sure you coordinate with them and they should be able to resolve it. I really hope you don't have to use any of these resources, praying that you are healthy and your family is protected. But of course, we know that emergencies and mishaps do occur. So it's worth checking it out, maybe having the app downloaded, getting everything squared away, and probably using Murphy's Law. If you do all that, do all of your research, you'll never have to use this resource. For those who do have to pay the copay, sometimes if you go on, just type in Doctor on Demand and a coupon code, there are first time 15% or $25 off your first visit. So I hope that this is something that is helpful and gives you back just a little bit of time in your crazy life that you have. Until next time.